is a whole new ballgame, and they make it perfectly clear to Abdi that they wish him to stay in Denver. The herds migrate through the Okavango during the dry season.
Raxan maroodi ah.
Rains floods the delta when
Waa kana raxan
it dried up. The matriarchs run these herds and are incredibly protective.
Ninkaani Soomaali ah maasha Allah oo duurkaas intuu Mareykanka ka tagay duurkaas tagay si uu documentary u sameeyo xayawaanada Afrika
Leaving the elephants for a while results
Yeah.
in a real stroke of luck. Ebla makes a comeback. When Abdi finds her again, she has 2 young cubs.
When I first saw the 2 cubs, they were not much older than Felix. As I got to know the 2 cubs, I could see that the male is the more adventurous. He's always about exploring, going here and there and all over. You see here, he has
Wow.
found a young tortoise and he wants to know what it is.
Abdi notices how the female cub has none of her brother's adventurous spirit and is reluctant to stray far from her mother's side.
It was always the little guy that she had to worry about. He was the pain in the neck. The little female would always be there at mom's side, always obedient. But he didn't like to be told what to do. So Ebla would be calling him, always going to look for him, and he would be out there somewhere doing his own thing.
Wow.
Abdi feels there are similarities between his own childhood and that of the cubs. His life, like theirs, has always been full of drama.
I believe I am the luckiest man in the world, but it has not always been like this.
Born into a camel herding family in Somalia, his father left Abdi's mother when he was just months old, and by the time he was 8, he was herding camels for his stepmother's family, who beat him regularly. Everyone told Abdi his mother was dead.
Oh.
He spent his time alone in the wild with the camel herds, living on his wits, and like the leopard, he lived on instinct, climbing trees to escape wild animals.
Wow. Abdi Jaamac miyaa sayiriisku ah.
Then one day, a strange woman turned up. She'd walked over 140 miles to find Abdi.
That really was a strange sight. And she's coming and say, "Young man, are you by yourself with these camels?" "Yes." "How come?" "I don't know. I'm getting a bit annoyed because my camels are really moving. And I had a meeting already earlier that day." "Listen, you got a mother?" I said, "No." "What do you mean no?" "Well, I was told my mom died when I was young, a baby. And I'm still saying, well, what has this got to do with anything? I gotta know."
Ah.
And she said, "Listen, your mom is not dead, I'm your mom."
His mother made sure he got a proper education. For the first time in his life, he had someone to look after him.
Adduun.
It's
Documentary
January,
waxaa la
Abdi's
cabbaya.
first rainy season. The rains mean that he can't move around as he has been, so he leaves the delta until the floods are over.
Yeah.
When he does return, the landscape he sees is totally different. It's a spectacular wetland.
Wow. Baabuurkay oo kala fadhiisanin meeshaas. Wallaahi
But some
documentary
things
fiican
haven't
oo duubay.
changed. Lazy Boy is still out on patrol, the beginning of his 5th year at the top. And the younger Pride members are thriving too. Both Lazy Boy and Patches seem to remember who Abdi is, and he gets in close to them to film. Lion prides are social groups ruled by males. Their territories vary in size depending on how much wildlife live in them. Their boundaries are regularly marked and patrolled by the pride as they defend it against intruders.
Oh.
The prides hunt over many square miles, and their range may be anywhere between 14 to 400 square miles. Partnerships between 2 adult males are common, and together they defend their pride and territory. These leaders are often born into the same litter, staying together for life. The pride females do most of the work. hunting and sharing the task of bringing up the cubs. The young cubs that Abdi saw when he arrived last year are now precocious young lions. They can't resist their urge to explore their territory, while the rest of the pride tackle things with their usual sense of purpose. And Abdi follows them, only to find himself witness to another drama as it unfolds. He watches as the cubs encounter another male. He's a stranger, and what's worse, he's younger, bigger, and stronger than Lazy Boy or Patches. The local guides already know about him and have christened him Angus. He's the pride's worst nightmare, an adult male lion in search of a pride and territory of his own, and when he finds one, he'll try to take it. Life may have to change for Abdi's pride. It's the males that are in danger. Angus is preparing to drive them out or even kill them. He can smell the pride. They're nearby. The young lions sense danger. They watch and wait. This would be trouble enough if Angus were alone, but he isn't. Beginning the brutal assault on the pride is Scarface, Angus's accomplice. Abdi's there, camera rolling on the action. Finally, Patches makes a run for it. He's finished as pride leader here and will never return. Scarface parades himself to what is left of the pride, mainly the females. One of the male cubs makes a futile stand against the invaders and is killed.
Aye.
Even the cubs that have fled to the tall marsh grass are run down and killed. This is the way lion prides change hands. It is a brutal and bloody part of nature. The new leaders must start their rule by building a new pride. They turn their attention to the females and stake their claim with scent. The lionesses must now show their loyalty to the victors, conceiving offspring sired by Angus and Scarface. Bushes are marked with scent that acts as a warning to any males still in the area that there has been a change in command. The males that have survived the takeover have to submit to Angus and Scarface. If they don't bow in submission, they will be killed. The lion's roar is one of the most impressive in the animal world. Lazy Boy limps away. This was the last shot Abdi ever got of him. Once the last of the young males has been subdued, it's the female's turn to submit. Abdi is back at square one, the new pride sizing him up. Clearly he's not a threat, but he's not familiar enough to allow too close. He keeps a respectful distance. The new pride settles into the old routine. Working as a team, Angus and Scarface have done the hard work, and now they can take things easy. For Ebla the leopard, that could mean trouble. They'll be on the lookout for threats to their territory. But when Abdi does find her and the cubs, he's relieved that she's clearly doing okay. They're feeding on a kill.
Mom, Ebla, had already got them to eat and eat and eat until the carcass was light enough to get in the tree. But the little guy isn't helping. He is always wants to do things his way. He's showing initiative already. I would say he's like me. I would be let go of my mom's house early in the morning, and I would be gone all day exploring, fighting, kicking, smoking, and stealing. I was cheeky like this fella. This guy is doing his own thing. He is impressing mom, but he's only a baby, and he doesn't know what he's doing.
The female cub is much less trouble. Instead of trying to take charge like her brother, she goes ahead and feeds off the carcass. It's wedged in the tree, and Ebla wants to get it on the ground. The female does nothing to help and seems to be too busy eating. But the male's determined to help, and Ebla lets him prove that he's got the strength to try. One day, the male cub will leave the family to look after a territory of his own and compete with other male leopards. The female will only stray a short distance to find her territory, perhaps even next to her mother's, so she doesn't need that bold streak in the way that he does. The male cub tries hard to outdo his mum,